It's the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, the Frank Show. Bitch, it's time for the show. Aloha headset, it's your boy Frank, and it's time for the Frank Show. Now, an update on CoolPaint VR. We found a trailer. Yes, I had to find it on a Spanish website, but I found a trailer. It looks pretty cool, very simple. Kind of reminds me of something like Microsoft Paint for PlayStation VR, which gets me even more excited to be there from the ground up. Now, I've always wanted a paint game. Harmonix didn't do it for me, so I'm very happy to see this one coming our way. Next up, Brookhaven Patch. Bad news. I mean, come on. It's getting to the point where I'm tired of reporting on this baby. Now, I want to play it. I would love to play it, and apparently we're going to get it on July 11th. They got some official thing from Sony, which is right behind me now. And so right now they're saying July 11th, but they said June 20th, and then they said 2 days from now. So I don't even know anymore. In other news, Syndrome is coming out this Friday to all you beautiful headsets in the UK, and we have no word on a North American release as of yet, but hey, we might get it too. Now, this game I originally thought was going to be completely in VR, but apparently you can't even play the campaign in VR. All it's going to have in virtual reality is a survival mode where you got to fight off waves of enemies while you're looking for key cards and trying to get through doors. From what I read, if it doesn't hit North America, I probably won't check it out because I don't really region hop. So definitely, if anyone grabs it, let me know what you think. All right, another new game coming our way, and more importantly, another shooter. This one is called SpecialForce, and I'm not 100% sure where it's coming from other than Dragonfly, and it looks like it has full locomotion, but really no information other than that as of now. I'll keep you posted. And VR Sense, which was the games that are going to be in those VR arcade cabinets where you can smell and feel and do whatever to the games, are finally going to be released on PlayStation VR. Now, we're going to get a Dead or Alive one, we're going to get a Dynasty Warriors, we're gonna get a jockey one. I don't know, they look kind of interesting, but not really fully developed and anything crazy, so I'm not 100% sure whether I'm gonna grab them or not. Also, I'm not 100% sure if we're even gonna get them in North America. I think mostly the point is they're coming to PlayStation VR rather than just in the arcade cabinets. Now, in final news, we are the list out of the PlayStation Plus games for July, and Until Dawn is on that baby. Now, I played Rush of Blood, but I never jumped into Until Dawn, and I've heard good things, but I never really wanted to pay for it because it wasn't my kind of game, so I guess I'll finally be trying it, which is great because The Inpatient is coming out soon, so I would like to know a little bit more of the story if there's anything there. We're also getting Game of Thrones TellTale series, which I have never checked out before, so maybe I'll check it out, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't even have time for VR games, but I'm just letting you guys know. And we're also getting Don't Die Mr. Robot, which I know absolutely nothing about, but hey, I'm here to tell you what PS4 is getting now. Finally, instead of Ask Frank again, we're gonna do Frank Ask because I got a phenomenal response the other day. Now, I loved reading your stories about why you wanted to get into VR. The older people that have been waiting for forever, the younger ones that can't wait to play Skyrim, and everyone in between. The community response is amazing. And before we get into questions, I want you to remember that I am a community member. I may be loud and a little obnoxious and don't shut up, but at the end of the day, I'm just a community member. I have no ties to developers. I'm not making any money from any kind of PlayStation, any kind of games off this channel. I do this solely for you. Now, I tell you this because I have a question that came from the developer about a new game that's coming your way. So they're working on a first-person shooter that's kind of going to be like Counter-Strike. Now, this game is going to be 5-on-5, and if you know the Mirage map, they showed me some graphics, which I can't really show you or talk about the developer, but they look really great. And so the character models that I've seen look pretty cool. But the big thing that they asked me is reload mechanics. Now, they read once or twice that people have an issue with just holding down a square button, that it breaks the immersion. I don't personally feel that way. At the moment, I'm pretty cool. I mean, I did like London Heist where I could toss up that ammo and just catch it in my gun, but I can deal, you know what I mean? Farpoint just holding down on a shotgun does not kill it for me whatsoever, even though it's probably not the greatest thing at all. And Arizona Sunshine going to the clip, like my belt, was cool, but that was not my takeaway from everything. It wasn't a game changer for me. But what do you think? Do you want some kind of cool reload mechanic? I mean, you know we can't have the ammo toss up every game because that's got to take a whole lot of room, but I mean, what will you settle for? Do you have an issue with just holding down square? Do you want something better? Let me know. And please, 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 you guys, I have one more question. Answer the questions this time. I mean, we get normally like 2% of the viewers that leave comments or ask questions or something, and I know that you're there, and maybe you read somebody else that has the same opinion as you and don't want to share it, but this is a numbers game for your boy Frankie, and I would love to see how many people feel a certain way because these games are for us. So wouldn't you want a game made the way you want it, or at least the general consensus of us wants this game, or at least options or something like that? I mean, come on, you guys, please answer my questions. Now, the second question is more community driven. Now, I've been speaking to a couple developers of multiplayer games, and their issue with multiplayer is we have such a spread out community all over the world that it's hard to really tie everyone down to play a game. And getting into communities works, but the messaging isn't that great, and timing things out isn't that great at all. Now, hear me out for a second. I used to play Destiny a whole lot. Like, I spent way too much time playing Destiny because I found a way to join raids. Now, raids is what sold me. I originally played Destiny, didn't care that much, but once I found out raiding, I was hooked. I mean, like 4 in the morning every night. Honestly, I probably just replaced raiding with this video making, which is much better for me, don't get me wrong, but I loved it. Now, when I found out about raiding was through this website called 100.io. Now, you could go on there and find people that were playing at certain times and join up on that certain raid, and it had how many spots were listed and all this and that, and it was very well organized. And I was thinking, what if we had something like that for PlayStation VR, like a site that had all that kind of stuff? Would you be interested in that? Would you want to sign up? Like, say, oh, you know you have time Tuesday night at 5 o'clock. Let's say that. So you go on there, and I'm talking Tuesday night at 5 o'clock everywhere in the world. You can just look, and it would be that time. You go on there, you make a game, and you say, hey, I've got time at Tuesday night at 5 o'clock to play X game. I need X number of players. Join up with me. And people would go on that site and say, hey, I got free time then. I'm going to join up. And within that, you'd have like a little group chat. And from there, the people could message each other and say, hey, we're going to be here at this time, send the invites at this time, and then so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying. Would you be interested in something like that? Is that something you would want? Let me know. Please, please let me know. Now, as always, thank you for coming through. You're the most beautiful people in the world. Give yourselves a thumbs up, a pat on the back, and if you think I deserve it, give me one as well. But more importantly than all of that is that if you want to stay up to date on everything PlayStation VR and you don't mind this ugly mug, friggin' subscribe. I mean, come. Come on. It's more just. All right, I'm getting better at this now. What's happening? Oh, and hey, if you haven't seen this video right here, there's one, check it out. It's a pretty cool video. This one, this video right here. That one right there, it's got Frank in it, that's me.